Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Black with no new moves was a really fun one. Let's follow that up with an experiment. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Red with a team of only one Diglett? Before I get into the experiment, the stats. Other than our speed, our stats are all pretty awful. When our attack is our second highest stat and it's still just that of a Pidgey, that's a bad sign. In Gen 1, your critical hit rate was based off your Pokemon's base speed though, so that will help a lot. By level up, we don't get much, but at level 19, we get Dig. It's as strong as Earthquake in Gen 1, so I think we'll be sweeping with that quite a bit. By TM, we don't learn much worth getting, but Body Slam might be nice. Plus, we need Rock Slide to defend against flying types. But right, the experiment. So this is something I've thought about doing for a while. Today we're going to see what I can do with Diglett in Red, and in 2 weeks we'll be doing another Diglett run, but in Fire Red. I'm curious to see how different it ends up. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think that this run will mostly be pretty smooth, but anything that we don't one-shot might just one-shot us back, so late game might get rough. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Diglett. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Diglett so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Charmander so that our rival would have Blastoise, probably the hardest for us to fight. I named him Diglett, because you guys told me to on Twitter. I asked you guys for name suggestions, and my friend dropped this gem on us. I don't know why, but something about Dean Cuddy saying Diglett with a Mr. Bean avatar really cracked me up. Naturally, the first thing we have to go do is grind in the forest so that we can handle Brock. The fights in this grind aren't too bad, although we're pretty frail. We resist poison, but we can still be poisoned, and with how little health we have, it's pretty much just a slow feint on the way back to the Poke Center if we do. We have to grind all the way till level 19 if we want Dig, so this is gonna take a little while. I know I often breeze over these grinds nowadays, mostly because I think you don't want to hear me talk about how long the grind is every single video, but just for some perspective, this is the entire grind from level 18 to 19. This took 11 minutes, but man does it feel longer. By the time we finally hit level 19, by the way, we easily took down Brock's whole team. No problems at all, I'm sure you figured. Naturally, we just learned Dig in Gen 1, which means that we can basically sweep all of the upcoming trainers. Plenty still have Pidgey or Sparrow, so we still need to use Scratch sometimes, but for the most part, we're okay. On our way through Mount Moon, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. On the other side, I decided to go after the Water Gym first, since our rival starts the fight with a Flying type. This actually took tons of tries because Bubble Beam one-shots us and Water Gun crits half the time, but after a solid 10 tries, we won with Dig. With that done, we go after our rival. This also took tons of tries, and weirdly enough, it wasn't from Sand Attack, we just kept getting crit by Quick Attack. On the first run where we didn't get crit, we won handily. In many runs, some of these trainers to the north of Nugget Bridge can be a little iffy, mostly just the hikers. But on this run, we don't really have any big issues. I don't usually talk about this place too much, since really only the hikers here cause issues, but this place is a great source of experience, so I thought I'd just bring it up sometime. Speaking of great source of experience, next is the SSN, and I decided to hunt down the trainers here too. We might not need these levels, but we can never fight these trainers again once the boat leaves, so we may as well get the levels while we can. The rival fight on the boat goes how it usually does, we don't even take a hit. I don't expect our rival to be difficult again until Silphco. With that done, we fight the Electric Gym, but it's a sweep as I'm sure you expected. Diglett was pretty much made for this fight, that's why Diglett Cave is in the same city. With that done, we have to fight our way through Rock Tunnel, but since rock types are weak to ground, we don't have any issues. I'm just trying to get as many levels as I can right now so that we can sweep our way through the upcoming Grass Gym, because I have no doubt in my mind that they can one-shot us. Alright, Grass Gym time. This one doesn't last long though. We get easily one-shot. We're not quite strong enough to one-shot them yet. Let's go do the Rocket Hideout real quick. Naturally, the Giovanni fight was a walk in the park. Again, he's one of those trainers where if you don't have a problem with rock or ground types, he's pretty much an afterthought. Back at the Grass Gym, and we actually ended up winning mostly just because Erica cheated and used a Super Potion as the second action in the first round of combat. If not for that, we probably would have just gotten one-shot again. I love gym leaders in this game, they're hilarious. Okay, before the next gym, we have to go do the Pokemon Tower rival fight. Normally this is a really easy fight, and I mean it was still a first try, but let's just use this fight as an example of how brutal Sleep is in Gen 1. Execute hits us with Hypnosis once, and half the runtime of the fight is just us trying to wake up and fight back. This is around where I decided that I'm going to start skipping most of the trainers. We have the Poison and Fire gyms coming up, and we've got the type advantage in both. I want to see if we're already strong enough to just sweep both of them with Dig. First, for the Poison gym, this goes about how you'd think. We sweep pretty well with Dig until Weezing blows himself up while we're underground. This happens a lot. I think this happened with Sandshrew too, didn't it? After we surf over to the Fire gym, we ended up sweeping most of the team. RK9 held on with a sliver, but then he used Ember instead of Fire Blast, so once again we beat Blaine thanks to his own bad AI. Now that we're done that, we have to go to Saffron City. That means we have to go get some drinks for a gate guard, but while I'm there, I give a pop to this girl to get the TM for Rock Slide. This will be how we fight flying types from now on. With that done, we go straight to Silphco. No time for the trainers here, I want to take the fight right to our rival. He goes pretty well overall, but the Blastoise fight at the end was surprisingly brutal. I thought it might go easily since he wastes his time with stuff like Bubble, but his Withdraw giving him more defense saved him a few times. If not for him doing weird things like using a regular potion, I could have lost. After that is another Giovanni fight, but he's actually loaded up with more poison types this time, so we make short work of him. No damage sweep. 2 gyms left. First, we do the Psychic Gym. Dig made pretty short work of the team, and yes, I remembered I could use it against Venomoth this time, but Alakazam hung on because of Reflect. We could have gone down if Psybeam crit, but it didn't, so we won on the first try. Last is the Ground Gym, but yet again, he doesn't even land a single hit on us. We are breezing through this run. Last before the Elite Four is one more rival fight. It started off well with Pidgeot only wasting his time with a Whirlwind, and both Rhydon and Growlithe were one-shots with Dig. That's when it got rough. On Execute, we managed to paralyze him and take him down, but not before being leech-seeded. This took 4 tries, by the way. He usually paralyzes us. We were still able to take down Alakazam quickly, but Blastoise is just too tanky. Even with us getting lucky and paralyzing him, he only needs one solid water move to beat us. We're gonna have to grind up a bit eventually, let's just get that out of the way. There's still tons of trainers that I never bothered fighting, so at least I have lots to fight. Plus, we're still not that high of a level, so it's not too bad to grind, at least by the standards of this show. Back at the rival at level 62, and we still have a plenty hard time with lots of his team. In the end, I really thought I still wasn't ready for Blastoise until our crit bypassed his defense raise. I get the feeling that I'm gonna have to rely on crits going into the final battle, and I'm really not looking forward to that. Alright, let's take a look at our stats before the Elite Four. Gotta say, not feeling great about this. Super low defense and health, passable attack, and the first Elite Four member is loaded with ice and water moves. We had a pretty easy run so far, but if Rock Slide doesn't carry us through the Lorelei fight, and I really don't think it will, then we're gonna have quite the grind on our hands. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. It goes about how you'd expect. We nearly got taken down by Dugong right away, just to get shut down fast by the super tanky Cloyster. We actually can't learn any moves that use special rather than attack, so it's either using double team or grinding. I guess we'll grind a bit. 7 levels later and I show up at level 70. Despite all of the extra levels though, the fight almost goes the exact same. We almost go down to Dugong just to get easily finished off by Cloyster. I don't even think I'm in range to one-shot it with a crit, and she has tons left on her team. I guess I just have to keep grinding. This did used to be a reasonable grind, but once you get to this high of a level, every grind gets a bit slow. On the upside, Victory Road isn't that bad to grind in if you have both rock and ground moves, so at least we're not having to run away from encounters all the time. Still, if I have to pick between grinding like this or just trying to fight over and over with double team, then I'd rather pick grinding. At least when we level up, we know that we're getting closer to an overall victory of the run. With double team, it often takes just as long to get a successful attempt, but without gaining levels in the process. Considering weekly challenges means a weekly time limit, I've got to keep moving forward. Alright, level 80. This time Dugong is much easier, and after a few tries, we managed to beat Cloyster, but even then, we just got taken down by Slowbro. This is pretty brutal. I feel like I'm just hoping for critical hits at this point. I have Sand Attack, but getting the win with that would probably require even more luck, considering crits are pretty common in Gen 1. I'm willing to get 5 more levels before I just brute force trying this over and over, hoping to get saved by crits and paralysis. Here we are, level 85. Now, I've got to show you this attempt to help illustrate a point. This is a rough attempt where we lost a lot of health to Clamp from Cloyster, but actually managed to get far into the fight. It took forever to take down Slowbro, but Jinx was a one-shot with Dig. All that was left was Lapras, but we got hit by Hydro Pump to go down. The fight looks winnable, but like you'd need a lot of luck. Well, on the very next try, thanks to Cloyster not hitting us for once, and a lucky crit later in the fight, we ended up taking down her entire team without her landing a single hit on us. Between strange crit rates, weird AI move choice, and stuff like the 256 glitch, where every move in the game has a 256 in 1 chance to just miss, I have to say that Gen 1 has to be the most random generation to do these challenges in. To be honest, it's probably overall the easiest for challenges, especially considering the badge boost glitch will give you power-ups every time the enemy hits you with a stat down move in late game. Considering even the Pokemon champion himself uses stuff like Leer and Tail Whip, they power you up a lot more than you'd think. As much as I complain about this run, Gen 1 really is the easiest to do these runs in. I shouldn't complain too much. Emerald? Oh man, Emerald's slow. You want brutality? The Emerald Psychic Gym in a 1 Pokemon run. Oh man. Anyway, second is the fighting trainer Bruno. We one-shot his whole team with Dig other than Machamp, who just used Focus Energy, a move that was bugged in Gen 1, to actually make you critically hit less rather than more. See what I mean about late-game bosses in Gen 1 having really bad move choice? Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha, yet another no-damage sweep. Gen 1 was before abilities, so Dig actually works on Gengar and Haunter. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. Water Onix did one-shot us a couple times with Hydro Pump, but on the third try, we took it down and breezed our way through the entire rest of the fight. Rock Slide does a pretty great job here. Finally, the Pokemon champion. Pidgeot is first, so we hit it with Rock Slide. It hangs on, but it's just because of a full restore. The second one ends up one-shotting him. Alakazam was a one-shot with Dig, as was Rhydon, and even Arcanine. Executor managed to do a surprising amount of damage to us by just spamming Barrage, but we took him down before anything too bad happened. Last was Blastoise, but he picks random super effective moves regardless of if they do damage. Because of that, he ended up using Withdraw on the turn that we came out of the ground for Dig. That caused him to not hit us on his one chance, so we were able to easily dig again and take him down, winning us the run. I feel like we've been here before. A reasonably quick and painless run just to end up getting brick-walled for ages by Lorelei. When did that happen last? Sandshrew? I'm pretty sure it was Sandshrew. I hope you guys liked that run. For next Saturday's challenge, we're going back to a non-Pokemon one, but I'm not totally sure which one yet. Maybe we'll leave that a mystery. Or maybe I'll tell you on Twitter. That's a great idea. I don't even have that written down. I just thought of that now. I'm a genius. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments in the challenge request section of my Discord channel and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlists in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend WhataGeek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and now Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel linked in the description. You can also watch myself, WhataGeek, and Gooseip playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and now we're doing my first time playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. Also come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.